Hello and welcome to Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories that are making headlines in the country. And my name is William Kumwembe. Coming up in the program today, we look at future of tobacco industry as market for 2021 season opens. And also in the program, mixed feelings as Treasury solicits views from various stakeholders to be incorporated in the 2021-2022 national budget. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could.
Zinenenje. Usomnali mamuno?
Ndamaza kulia ruzina ndizina mwali.
Mandema chopata. Sugar, apo tukona nkaka. Umatu masambati nje mulibe umu.
Alamwa kutu samwali wa masamba.
Ndaka soti ngati. Amwali. Koma soto inu mupasikira nyonse yango dzadza ndi made in Malawi yoka. Tamakani moyo tsogola pogula zinthu zakunja.
Maganizo amene uli ndobwezera chitukuko cha dziko lino mbuyo. Kugula zinthu zopangidwa kwathu konkuno kumathandiza kukweza ntchito za makampani a dziko muno. Zomwezo zimapereka mwayi wa ntchito kwa anthu ambiri. Ogwira ntchito akachuluka dziko lathu limatolera misonkho yochuluka. Chumanso chimakwera. Ngagulatu katundu wakunja mumangolemeretsa mayiko akunjawo ife sitipindula kanthu.
Kani
ndikuwuzani
iyo pontenda mvetsatu. Ndandikire pompa. Nene ndikagule zinthu zathu za chimalawi sindichedwa ndikire.
Tigule zathu tiluwe dziko lathu.
Ndidikire sindichedwa.
Dziko lathu bai Malawi tikonde ndi kunyadira za chimalawi tikamagula za.
Hello and welcome. This is Business Time, and in our main story in the program today, on Tuesday, President Lazarus Chakwera opened the 2021 tobacco marketing season, of course with a fresh call for diversified production in the agriculture sector. This comes as experts continue to say the industry seems to be facing myriad challenges as tobacco appears to be a dying crop. For the past 10 years, for instance, input from tobacco as well as output has been on a downward spiral. Now, this poses a question to say, what's the future for the once touted green god? This is a question our journalist Chimwemwe Mangazi attempts in this report.
Commencement of the tobacco marketing season has excited tobacco growers in the country who are expecting to reap the fruits of their labor. This is despite turbulent times the industry has been facing, witnessed by fluctuations in production and earnings from the crop. For example, in the past 5 years, production has declined by 41.6%, while earnings have dropped by 48.5%. Opening the market, President Lazarus Chakwera emphasized the need for Malawi to diversify the agriculture sector.
The first harsh reality is the gross imbalance in bargaining power between tobacco farmers and other industry players. As far as I'm concerned, farmers do not have enough of a say in what happens with their produce, what price it is sold at, and what markets it is supplied to. It must be remembered that the farmer is responsible for production. And in any industry that is healthy, producers have a lot of bargaining power. The second harsh reality is the poor regulation of the industry. There is currently a new law for the industry named the Tobacco Industry Act number 10 of 2019. But it needs enforcement. The third and final harsh reality I must address is the most difficult. Additionally, although much of our crop is for exports, the industry relies heavily on imports that result in small margins of profit for us as a country compared to other commercial crops. Everyone in the tobacco industry seems to know what all this means, but most do not seem to want to say that out loud. But it must be said, because if we do not say it, then we cannot take steps to save our economy from eventual collapse. What must be said and accepted is that our tobacco industry is dying.
In an earlier interview, President of the Tobacco Association of Malawi, Abio Kalimabanda, described this season as a defining moment for the future of the industry. He said if buyers will not offer good prices, half of the farmers will exit the industry. Tobacco Commission Chief Executive Officer Joseph Chidanti Malunga said they expect prices to be better owing to the good quality of the leaf produced this year.
Now, the Treasury has started soliciting views from various stakeholders to be incorporated in the 2021-2022 national budget. Finance Minister Felix Mulusu on Tuesday caught up with experts from the Institute of Chartered Accountants in Malawi as well as the Economics Association of Malawi, ECAMA, for their view into the national budget. This comes at a time the current budget is facing a number of challenges ranging from constraints in as far as revenue generation is concerned, which has led to a great extent to high public debt, specifically domestic borrowing. Now, what does the future hold? This is a question our journalist from Lilongwe, Matthews Kasanda, asked the finance minister.
Yes, indeed, we have received quite a number of recommendations and proposals from ICAM, and I'm sure we'll also be receiving others as we go along in the next 3 days. We will obviously review these proposals, see which ones are workable and which ones can be implemented now, those that can help us to achieve some quick wins or indeed to enable us to plug the low-hanging fruits. Obviously, this must be both sides, not just on the side of government, but also on the side of the general public, the stakeholders. We want to come up, obviously, with a budget that is all-inclusive, in terms of, obviously, on the government side, as well as on the, on the general public as a whole, on the population. So we'll take, these proposals and recommendations, go through them. Some of them may probably not apply this year, but we'll still keep them so that we can, going forward, we can also look at them. So this is the way we are going to handle these proposals that we are receiving. Well, I think some of the issues are really very much centering on taxes. Yes. Now, I think one area where we need to look at very, very seriously and critically is the support of the SMEs. That we believe is an area that we need to look at the taxes that are applicable there, because the intention must not be to penalize or indeed burden the small businesses. The intention must be to promote them, because if these small businesses grow, it means they're going to be paying more taxes. So we want their businesses to grow so they can pay more taxes. So that's another one major area that definitely we're going to give some serious thought and consideration.
Remember, this is Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories that are making headlines in the country. We'll be right back.
Excuse me, madam. Stop billing. I'm taking back all these goods to the shelves.
What's wrong, sir?
Never mind. I have just changed my mind.
Excuse me. I just noticed you returned all the goods you meant to buy. What went wrong?
Some of these products are not originally made here in Malawi.
But these goods have a logo to authenticate them.
to build Malawi. You can find out more from Buy Malawi Secretariat or call them on 01 770 244, 0993 707 729 or 0999 528 510. You can also simply email info@buymalawi.mw.
Buy Malawi, tikondeni kunyadira za chimalawi. Tikamagula.
Welcome back. 2020 would be a year to forget for most businesses as the COVID-19 pandemic affected operations of almost all sectors of the economy. About 15% of businesses in the country were reported to have closed due to effects of COVID-19 pandemic. This is according to a study by the Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, and it disseminated its findings last Friday in Blantyre. What is contained in the report? We have the whole story in this report.
The study found that 15% of businesses faced challenges with reduced opportunity to meet customers, contributing to reduced sales and revenue. This came out during an interface of private sector players in Blantyre on Friday. Findings of the study further show that a substantial number of workers in businesses could not return to work due to government restrictions, thereby affecting production. Statistics provided show that 49% of the businesses source their supplies both locally and internationally. It also states that in the coming 12 months, 47.5% of the businesses foresee moderate growth compared to 24.9% that envisage moderate contraction and 14.9% that expect severe contraction. James Chimwaza is president of the Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry.
The two studies that we conducted were COVID-19 impact assessment as well as Malawi business climate survey. We're looking at the experiences of the industry with these two perceptions. And what came out when we looked at the challenges and rated the challenges, when you take all sectors together, agriculture, manufacturing, everything together, it was that COVID-19 came top as the number one challenge. And then electricity was access to electricity, and the cost of electricity was another challenge. Telecommunications, connectivity, as well as the cost of connectivity was a major challenge. And then access to finance. When there were lockdowns and the business went down, it was difficult for SMEs to access finance because banks require collateral. And then the other institutions that are able to give small SMEs funding, the information was not there. And the fifth major challenge was access to transport and the cost of transport, both for importing but even for people to move from the rural areas with what they've produced to access the markets. Transport is a major challenge. And for the small industries, for the manufacturing industries in Malawi, the next other challenge was smuggling, where Malawians produce and they pay all the taxes, others smuggle in products, and then the Malawian producers are forced to sell at a loss.
And Gloria Zimba is Business Development and Corporate Affairs Manager for Chibuku Products Limited, one of the members of MCCCI.
The findings are a true reflection of what the industry is going through and the status of the economy at the moment. It's not a good status at all. But what is quite disappointing is that some of the findings are repeat findings from last year's survey, both on the impact of COVID-19 and the challenges which the businesses are facing in Malawi. We hope that this time around, when MCCI presents these findings to government and the related departments and ministries, something is going to happen. Because if we leave it like this, we are dying, the industry is dying in Malawi, and so is the economy, because the industry is the backbone of the economy. So if the backbone of the economy is dying, Malawi is dying. Well, the political will is there. There is the public-private partner dialogue forum that was set up by the president to address similar issues. MCCI is there as a conduit between the businesses and government, and we've had a lot of meetings where the industry has raised issues. This survey is just a reflection of those issues that have been raised by the industry for some time. But what we see to be lacking a little bit is the outcomes of those meetings. Because we can keep on having meetings every day, but if the outcomes are not translating into action, that is where the problem is. I think our plea to government is that there should be a little bit more, they should add a bit of speed in acting to the outcomes of those meetings. We've seen even the president last year, I think around November, December, he did have dinner with the business captains acting on the issues, the outcomes of these meetings.
Ministry of Trade spokesperson Maisun Sogera was optimistic that business was returning to normal.
Now, in other business news, one of the country's commercial banks, NBS Bank, has rolled an initiative aimed at propelling growth of SMEs in the country. Robert Kapiepie is the head of agribusiness and SMEs division at the bank and sheds more light on the concept.
For us as NBS Bank, I think this is a very good opportunity for us as a business to grow. Because remember, NBS Bank is a homegrown and homebred bank. So our activities, our blood is in Malawi. So when we see such initiatives to promote SMEs, because if you see SMEs account for almost 2 to 3 million of small and medium enterprises, which is a very large number, and they provide employment to a lot of people. So if these are promoted, it's not only a benefit to the SMEs as institutions, but so many livelihoods will be improved. So as a bank, because we deal with different segments, we believe that this will have a lot of benefit for us, because it means more business and indeed more contribution from us to the economy. Yes, we have. Actually, we do have after receiving this news, we went back and looked at our processes and products. So we do have a product that we call order financing. We believe that this product is relevant to support this MSME policy. And for all those that have got contracts or indeed have been issued LPOs, all they have to do is to come to the bank. We do have a robust offering in terms of SME specialists that are on the ground or in our service centers that are willing and ready to help these MSMEs to access working capital so that they can be able to provide goods and services that they've been recruited to. Well, the beauty about this is that I think it's unlimited, because if you have an order, whether it's for 10 million, 50 million, or indeed $1 billion, the bank will finance against the order that you've been given. So we might basically see this as an opportunity to create the next range of billionaires. Because if someone gets a contract of 2 billion and we support them, it means the return is very high, and we look forward to assisting government to achieve such economic development. Well, in our experience, what we've noted is that normally if you are taking facilities for long term, it's when the cost becomes very high, because most of these orders are for 30, 60 and 90 days. So when you look at the cost of borrowing against a short-term facility, I think most of these SMEs will find it very affordable compared to other sources of financing, which might prove to be very expensive. Yes, we do actually. As I've said, we've got SME specialists across our branches. So I would encourage all those SMEs to come to our bank, sit down with our specialists. They'll give them financial advisor as well as advise them on which products will be relevant to whatever need they have. Well, for us, I think what we've heard is normally people complain to say about collateral being a big bottleneck in this business. But what I'm saying is if these SMSMEs are given contracts with reputable parastatals or indeed central government, for example, someone trying to procure a generator for ESCOM, as an example, you would expect that the generator should be somewhere above $1 billion in cost. We don't expect them to bring property to match that. So what we are saying is we are part of the NICO group. So we have other services like insurance that we can use to mitigate such a risk. So we'll work hand in hand with our sister companies to ensure that at least these procurements are taken, brought into the country, delivered successfully, and as a bank we assign our proceeds to, and once the proceeds are assigned to us, we issue the remaining funds to the SME. We believe that such a structure should be able to assist those that do not have collateral in form of landed property.
On that note, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories that are making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. Always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Goodbye for now and stay safe.